Okay, again, my name is John Williams, aka Born Winner. And if you are watching us from YouTube or anybody else's tube, make sure you like this video and make sure you leave a great comment. Nevertheless, a lot has been going on out here in this fast moving space, as you just heard from one of our wonderful team members that Fidelity might be in the exchange business. I'm not sure. I'm gonna dig into it a little deeper, but it's nothing but good news for us because mass adoption is knocking on the door. But this is the article I wanted to share. Remember, I told you guys I had read something about Bitcoin hitting 1 million by the year 2030. This article is saying 2029. Whether it's 29 or 30, Bitwise, they did their little research and calculations and whatnot, and this is what they're saying by 2025. By the end of this year, about 200,000. We talked about that last year. Let me see if I can play this and see if it'll play.
Bitcoin's base case for the end of 2025 is $200,000 without further government adoption, Bitwise's head of research told Cointelegraph. Bitcoin's expanding institutional adoption may provide the structural inflows necessary to surpass gold's market capitalization and push its price beyond $1 million by 2029, according to Bitwise's head of European research, Andrei Dragos. Our in-house prediction is $1 million by 2029, so that Bitcoin will match gold's market cap and total addressable market by 2029, he told Cointelegraph during the Chain Reaction Daily X Spaces show.
Now I'm going to stop it right there because we're not doing a Bitcoin update call, but let me just say this. The reason why I talked about it last week and the reason why I wanted to share that this week is because this wealth transfer is real, whether you want to believe it or not. In Bitcoin, in the whole DeFi space, is leading the charge. Everybody who was anybody, it's another article that I'm not going to share with Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley merged with my old wirehouse, Smith Barney. So there's no more Smith Barney. They merged into Morgan Stanley. And so, but Morgan Stanley is trying to get Circle. No, not Circle. Is it Circle? They're making a bid to buy Circle, but one of their platforms, TD Ameritrade, one of them, they get ready to launch crypto buying and selling on that platform starting in 2026, so next year. So every day there's more and more news coming out about, the merger between the old world and the new world. I mean, it's awesome for us that are in the new world because they're coming in slowly, but they're coming in faster now than they were, just even last year, right? More and more news. Mr. Curry sent me a text about all of those states that we were talking about that were coming in and adding Bitcoin to their reserve funds, where Arizona looks like is the first state to actually get it approved, and now it's done. The other states still have it going through their legislation process. But Arizona looks like they're the first one to actually get it done, and it's now law. I think they're going to put like 10 or 15% of the state's reserve fund into crypto, and of course, Bitcoin being the big boy of them all. So it's really exciting because listen to this. As I go through our presentation tonight, think about this. Think about your 36-month plan, right? You position yourself in your first 36 months based on what I shared last week or based on what you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. So that in that first 36 months, whatever the price of Bitcoin is, let's just say it's 250,000 a coin, and you have $1 million worth of those coins or whatever you have based on whatever kind of portfolio you have put together, right? And that'll be, what's this? This is 25, so that'll be 28. From 28 and your holdings to 29 30 will be nothing but growth. Now, let that sink in. I'm not going to dig into that no deeper until we get into this presentation, but let that sink in. Wealth, 90% of the time, is all about positioning, being in the right place at the right time, and things can just explode on your behalf. And you want to position yourself to be in position to just let the Most High do what He's going to do. And consequently, if you're not in the right position, if you think this is not real, if you believe in the wealth transfer, that's cool too, because you have that right. You're just going to miss out again. And the biggest problem with the 95%ers in this country, the reason why the 95%ers only control, 2-3% of the world's wealth, is mainly because of what's between these two ears. It's that brain that's keeping them from moving, keeping them from, getting out and just doing what they haven't done before, changing the way they think, right? But let me just say this. I share information and other people around me share information so that you can begin to see that this is real. I mean, there's no closing the door. Door's open, and it will never be closed again. The financial system is changing, whether you want to believe it or not. Matter of fact, it has changed. It has changed. So position yourself, because if you position yourself right, and you don't have to go beyond your comfort zone. If you're a client of mine, I'm going to push you past your comfort zone. That's just how I do, right? I can't make a client do, but I'll push him as hard as I can, because you got to come out your comfort zone to create wealth. You can't create wealth in your comfort zone. It just never happened, never will happen. So you have to move from your comfort zone to create wealth, right? Now, how much out of your comfort zone? Well, that's up to you. How much you move that temperature is up to you. But if you're a client of mine, if you're a prospect of mine, if you're somebody I'm talking to, I'm pushing you as far as you can go. Why? Because you don't have much time to do anything else. If you are a boomer, right, and you're about 60, you got to, what's my old coach used to always say, balls to the wall. It's time to look. This is second half. We didn't do so good the first half. It's now time to go balls to the wall, meaning all out, right? To get back in the game, or either win the game, one or the other. It's time to go all out, gang. This is my company, Bridge Advisors. Your bridge to financial freedom, generational wealth system. $100 in Bitcoin with Cryptex. I want you to sit back, relax, take some notes if you're here for the first time. But listen to what I'm saying, because we can change your life if you let us. Let me move this out the way. It's blocking my area. You're going to learn some key benefits of association, of being associated with Cryptex. Let me slow down. Being associated with the Cryptex project. Cryptex allows you to benefit from a starting balance of $30,240 or $43,200 and only pay a $100 activation fee. Let that sink in. Are you saying? Yes, I'm saying. I'm saying you can start your account with a stakeable balance of either $30,240 or $43,200 with a $100 activation fee. That is your exposure. Let's dig into a little deeper. Disclaimer. What you hear in this presentation is not financial advice. It is to present you with information. Everything is associated with risk, even your job. Never risk more than you can afford to lose. There are no guarantees of income. You are responsible for your decisions and transactions. Income examples are estimates of what you may earn. It's getting hot in here already. I thought I turned the air up. Oh, I closed my door. That's why. What is Cryptex? Great question. Cryptex is a community-based project where operations are anonymous. There is no CEO, company, business, or location. Cryptex maintains partnerships with banks, insurance companies, and individual account holders, working uniformly to generate profits for all parties involved. Operating since 2016, Cryptex utilizes DeFi staking protocol as its point of earnings. Cryptex provides anonymity for all parties. That word gets me. There are over 700 plus account holders worldwide. 700,000 plus account holders worldwide. Now the players. DeFi staking contract, account holders, insurance companies, and banks. Background method of earnings, DeFi staking. Well, what is DeFi staking? Glad you asked. It is the process of keeping your assets in a smart contract in exchange for the accumulation of interest. Crypto assets are locked for a contractual period to generate passive income. Locked assets protect the blockchain network's ability to generate crypto profits, and as a reward, the staked receives returns. DeFi staking is considered the modern-day savings account, but much more lucrative because daily rewards are possible with staking. Cryptex averages a variable 0.1% to 0.3% per day from staking and compounds the interest daily for profitable returns. That's pretty powerful. What is the product? The DeFi hybrid contract. This is the contractual agreement between the contract, the insurance company, and the bank. The contract contains a provision of capital in USD, which is the starting balance given by the bank to the contract for a term of 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. Now, who gives that starting capital? The bank. And where do they give it to? I want you to be clear. The contract. Keep that in mind as we go along. Up to 80 contract subscriptions are allowed per account. Each account has a non-refundable activation fee of only 100 USD, deposited in cryptocurrency, and it can be either Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, which is used for distribution and inter-system operations. The DeFi hybrid contract consists of 2 parts. Number 1, smart contract, the code that runs exclusively on the blockchain. And number 2, the decentralized Oracle network, which are secured off-chain services that support the smart contract. The account holder participation. With only a $100 activation fee, you can secure a 3, 5, or 7-year DeFi staking hybrid contract, which contains a starting balance of $30,240 for 3 years, $43,200 for 5 years, and $43,200 for 7 years. These starting balances compound over the length of the term. Each participant is considered an account holder and may open an account anonymously with just an email address and password upon registration. Pretty cool. The insurance company insures default and the wallet for loss and was developed by the partner insurance company specifically for the Cryptex project. Now, why would the insurance company do this? The insurance company stands to benefit financially by receiving secure monthly bonuses from the staking profits of every single contract. They receive this without interruption for the entire term of the contract. This is automated, removing the human factor and ensuring that they can collect. That's what it's all about. The bank, based on the insurance coverage, based on what? Based on the insurance coverage, the bank provides the capital for the contract for either 3 years, 5 years, or 7. Now, why would the bank do this? The bank benefits financially, receiving secure annual interest from the staking profits without what? interruption. Where did we just hear that? For the entire term of the contract. This is automated, removing the human factor and insurance collection. Now, both the insurance company and the bank have the same goal in mind. They want to make sure they get paid. They want to make sure they get paid consistently. And they want to make sure they get paid without interruption. You see, because interruption, like I got an emergency, I need to withdraw. All those kind of things, life happening, interrupts not only their profits, which they don't want to allow to happen, but it also will interrupt your profits. So that's the part that I love the most when I first saw this project. That smart contract is doing what it's supposed to do, keep everybody in check. It means because of these 4 components, profits are guaranteed. And that will be the only time tonight you will hear me use the word guaranteed, with the addition of compounding. Let's take a look at the contract's expectations and the power of compounding. Number 1, the DeFi staking contract. Number 2, the account holder. Number 3, banks. And number 4, insurance company. This project would not be able to fly for going into our 9th year now without any one of those 4 components. Everybody has to be in lockstep. It's like a team of horses. We got to all be going the same way. The contract expectations for a 3-year contract. The bank's going to deposit $30,240 into the contract. It's going to be in there for 36 months. The insurance company will charge $210 per month to insure the money that the bank just deposited. Cryptex will charge $30 per month fee. The bank will earn a variable rate of 6.75 per year. Staking rewards are daily. The compounding, yes, that's daily. And you're going to pay a $100 activation fee to make all this happen. And you're going to deposit that into your contract with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. Insurance, processing fee, and annual interest fee is paid by the generated staking profits. Past results are no guarantee of future success. Let's look at this contract. So the bank's going to deposit just what they said, $30,240. At the end of 36 months, the bank's going to take back what they deposited, $30,240, and you'll be left with about $35,097.28. What did you do? You activated a hybrid DeFi staking contract for $100 in Bitcoin, and then you waited 36 months and let the staking and the compounding every single day do what it do. Let's look at a 5-year contract expectations. This time the bank's going to deposit $43,200, and they're going to do it for 60 months this time. And insurance will go up a little bit because they're going to guarantee $13,000 more dollars. That's going to be $300 a month. The fee for crypto, that's going to be the same, $30 per month. The bank's going to actually give you a little bit less on the interest because you have 2 more years of compounding. So the bank's going to charge on this contract 5.5% per year. It's going to stake every day, 24/7, 365. It's going to compound every day, and you're going to pay the same activation fee, $100 in cryptocurrency. Now, the processing fee, insurance, and annual interest fee is paid by the generated staking profits. Past results are no guarantee of future success. And I like to highlight that because you never come out of your pocket for any of those 3 fees we just talked about. It's all generated by your patience and that DeFi staking contract doing this thing 365 days per year and compounding. So the bank's going to deposit $43,200. 60 months later, there's $500,000 in there, $514,687.63. The bank's going to take back their deposit of $43,200. They're happy. You're going to be left with $471,487.63 for just 2 more years of patience. It's a beautiful thing when a community, the community of banks, insurance companies, and us, and that DeFi staking contract can come together and everybody get paid, everybody eat, everybody's happy. So as you can see, there is a substantial payout difference between a 36-month contract and a 60-month contract. A 36-month contract is estimated to pay out about $35,000 and some change, as you can see. A 60-month contract is estimated to pay about $471,000 for 2 more years of compounding. Each contract compounds daily interest and on the each contract compounds daily interest on the starting balance, averaging between 0.1% and 0.3% per day or higher. It's a variable rate for the same $100 activation fee, and you can have multiple contracts. There are not, if I could read, that'd be great. You are not limited to one contract. 80 contracts are typically allowed per account, and only one is allowed per user, one account per user. Packages we got special packages running right now that allows 45 contracts in your account. And even with those 45 contracts, and if you get all 3 of the special, and you get 5 free contracts in each special, so you'll get 15 free contracts. That'll give you 45 contracts. If you get all 3 of the specials, that means you can add 35 more. You can't have 80 plus the specials. It's 80 in total. Now, withdrawals. I had a lady watch this video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, wanted to see a withdrawal from somebody in the organization. On this particular slide, if you go to memberrewards.com, you can watch one of our members withdraw his $400,000. He was so excited about it, he made a video and put it up for the team to be able to see a live withdrawal of $400K. So it's pretty cool. Go to memberrewards.com and you can watch that withdrawal. Blockchain transparency. See, this is one of the things that drew me from the old world to the new world. Been in the financial industry well over 30 years. Most of those years were in the old world. Been here in the crypto space now for, I'm going into my 12th year. But transaction can be viewed on the blockchain. What does that mean? That means that every transaction from the time Bitcoin started, which is in 2009, 14 years of transactions. If you had a computer with enough memory, you can go to Blockchain Explorer and download every transaction and see exactly what was done. That's transparency. Go to your bank or your financial house and ask them to show you their transaction. It's not going to happen, right? That's the difference between a centralized system and a decentralized system. It's freedom, it's transparency, and it's wealth if you position yourself right. But on this particular wallet, if you go to dailypaysolutions.com, you'll see one of our withdrawal wallets that we use for withdrawals. At the time this was done, there was 51 Bitcoin in that wallet, valued at $3,275,000. But this is the most important number here. That particular wallet had done at that time 110,000 transactions, meaning 110,000 people made withdrawals. Those withdrawals totaled $266,144,395,998 have been paid out of that one wallet in Bitcoin. And Cryptex has more than one wallet in which they make payouts from. So it's pretty cool. Transparency, there you go. Putting it all together. Number one, the account holder has a contract. One contract, $100 activation fee. Number two, the bank provides the capital to the DeFi staking contract. To Jimmy? No. The bank provides the capital to the DeFi staking contract. It never hits Jimmy's hands. Once you activate the contract, it goes right into the contract. Why? Because the bank knows that life can happen. They give you $30,000 and you know it's supposed to go in the contract, but life hits you and you say, you know what, I need $5,000 to take care of the situation. I'm going to put 25 in. Bank don't want to hear that. Number three, staking generated daily compounding profits. Awesome. I mean, I just love hearing that. I love reading it. Number four, each contract is insured by the bank. That's what makes number two possible. See, if the insurance company wasn't guaranteeing the bank's money, there would be no deposit. Why am I saying that? Because in a normal loan situation, you go to the bank, and if your credit is good enough, they begin to listen to you. Then they look at all the paperwork, see your debt to income ratio, how much you need, how long you need it for, and how many people you didn't pay in the past or did pay in the past, right? And all that stuff goes together called underwriting, and that determines whether you get that loan or not. Here, it's all anonymous. They don't care about your past. They don't even care about you or me. What they care about is number four. So be happy for that insurance premium. Number five, At the end of a contract term, the capital lent to the DeFi staking contract. What was it lent to? It was lent to the contract. It's paid back to the person that lent it, which is the bank. Number 6, all parties stand to profit from every contract. Whether you have 1 or 80 contracts, you will profit. It's a beautiful thing. Number 7, the contract holder only takes care of a $100 activation fee for this entire process to happen. And that's the part I want you to get, because if you miss this wealth transfer with an exposure of only $100 per contract, there's something wrong with you, and you're supposed to miss it. The special package. Get 15 contracts for the price of 10. Everybody loves a bargain, right? So each of these specials, you can get 3 of them, and they're $1,000 each. But instead of having 10 contracts at 100 each, we're going to give you 5 extra. So you'll get 15 contracts for the price of 10. And if you get all 3, that's 45 contracts. And those 45 contracts will give you $1.5 million at the end of 36 months. Think about that as Bitcoin roars to that $1 million coin platform. Just think about that. I planted that seed earlier. Now I'm putting a little water on it. And of course, you can get 3 of them. And you can do the math. Each contract estimated to give you about $35,000 times that by 45 contracts. It's a beautiful thing. Now that you're a member, when you log in, you're going to come to the overview page. And over here, it's going to be, I think it's my portfolio, whatever it is. You click on that. When that window drops down, you're going to click on Apply DeFi Hybrid Contracts. And then this page will come up. When this page comes up, you'll see the 36-month $100 contract. You'll see the special and how you can tell it has this little red box around it. That'll be $1,000, and you'll see 15 contracts in there. And then you'll see the $100 60-month contract. But we also have a 7-year contract or 84-month contract, right? If you want to see it though, right here on this 60-month contract, there'll be a little arrow. If you click that arrow, everything will slide over to the left. And now you'll see the 3 starting from the 36-month special pack over here, right? And you can take a look at the 7-year contract. If you want to go back, there'll be a little arrow on the special pack, and you click that, and everything will slide back over to the right, and then you'll be able to see the first contract again. So you can only see 3 at a time is my point here. All right, let's keep it moving. But they're all there. Now, what is dollar cost averaging? It's a concept that I learned way back in the 80s. And basically, it's a method where you deposit money on a regular basis, whether that be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, to save for a goal. And that goal could be like early retirement. It could be like retirement. It could be like children going to college, and you want to make sure that the money is there when it's time for them to go. It could be children in college that you want to pay the loan off when they get out. It could be a couple getting ready to get married. I mean, it could be any number of things. It's just a goal and a concept, right? Let's see how we can use this to make everything come together for you. So one contract is estimated to pay at the end of 36 months, $35,000. And if I was the rep who sold it to you, I'd earn 30%, which is $30 of that 100, right? After 36 months, then you'd earn an additional $2,800. So the total compensation for the rep who did this would be $2,830. So the rep is happy, you're happy. That's one contract, 36 months. Now, what if someone bought one contract every month? Now we're talking about dollar cost averaging for 36 months. Let's put it together. One contract every month for the next 36 months, you're going to be saving. The total that they're going to put away over 36 months would be $3,600, which means they'd have 36 contracts, right? At the end of that period, you're going to take out, now at the end of your 36 months, you're going to start taking out $35,000 every month for the next 36 months. So the first 36, you're setting it up. The second 36, now you're taking it out at $35,000 a month. Your total that you'll take out will be $1,260,000 in Bitcoin. Pretty awesome. The rep that put that together, every time you take out $35,000, they'll get 8% of that, which would be $2,800. Over that 36 months, they're going to earn $100,800. Pretty cool. add their upfront money that they get, $30 every month for every contract. That'll be $101,880 in Bitcoin. You got paid in Bitcoin, they got paid in Bitcoin. Pretty cool. But what if somebody said, well, John, what if I did the $3,600 up front? I got it sitting over here in my money market. It ain't doing nothing. My checking account, CD account, IRA account, retirement account, wherever it is, ain't doing nothing, right? If you did it up front, the 3,600 moved it from where it is to over here, you'd add another $500,000 to that number, 1,785,000. This way, over time, you get 36 contracts. Doing it this way, you get 51. Well, how did that happen? Because you qualify for the special. So you get 3 of those specials, that'll give you 45. And then you take the 600 and you get 6 $100 contracts. That'll give you a total of 51 instead of 36, which gives you another $500,000. It's a beautiful thing when you really understand and don't let fear stop you from creating wealth. See, the reason why the Most High said the poor will always be among you, it ain't because they didn't have opportunity. It's because of fear 90% of the time. Fear and a lack of understanding. Because when you get understanding, wisdom, and knowledge, fear goes away. So most times it's just an illusion. So that's one client doing dollar cost averaging for 3 years. What if you had more? What if you still the same concept with, let's just say, 10 clients? And each one of those 10 was saving $100 per month in Bitcoin for 36 months. Your upfront compensation on that $30 times all those clients would be $10,800. Not too bad at all. On the back end, they're going to be taking out $35,000 a month. So you're going to get $2,800 times 10 clients. That's $28,000 a month. So they're going to get $35,000 every month for 36 months. You're going to get $28,000 every month for 36 months. They're going to earn 1.2, and you're going to earn $1,008,000. You just put yourself, by helping 10 people create $1 million Bitcoin retirement account, made yourself a millionaire. See, less than 3% of the people in the country are millionaires. So all that wealth is controlled by the top, what's that, 8%? That's insane. That means 96.8% of all the people in the country are basically broke, because $1 million in today's retirement environment, you're just getting there. Give you about $10,000 a month if you put it together right in your investment portfolio. Give you about $10,000 a month. That's $100,000 a year before taxes and before this crazy inflation. But you're going to be in a better spot than if you didn't, right? Now look at this. What if each one of those 10 decide to tell one person each? Now you have 10 on the second level. And on the second level, as those 10 take out their $35,000 every month, you get 5% of that, which would be $1,750 times 10. That's another $17,500 a month. So over 36 months, that's going to give you another $630,000, giving your combined total, your first level and your second level, $1,648,800. I know a whole lot of financial advisors who don't make that, and that's a fact, right? You add your first and your second, that means every month to get to this number here, you'll be receiving $45,500 for the next 36 months. And that's if you stopped at only helping 10. Well, what did you do to make all that happen? You helped 10 or 20 people create $1 million retirement account. Not just a retirement account, but a Bitcoin retirement account. The #1 coin on CoinMarketCap, and the only coin expected to hit 7 figures by the end of this decade here. Well, we got about 5 more years to go. It's a wonderful thing when you understand it. Let's talk about creating some generational wealth, right? A 7-year strategy, a 7-year Bitcoin allocation plan across 80 contracts. This is something I put together to share. I've always been putting together allocation plans for my whole 30 plus years in this business. And when I looked at this platform, I did the exact same thing I always do. #1, your total investment. Now, so there's going to be 2 things happening here. The way, if you did it the dollar cost averaging way, you would spend about $8,000. That's the max you can spend to get 80 contracts. If you do it the Smart way, you'll spend about $6,500. So I'm gonna show you the $6,500 way. Number two, your your portfolio spread. 80 contracts will be spread out over 3 years, 5 years, and 7 years. Yes, what I'm gonna do is take those 80 contracts and I'm gonna spread it out. Let's look at the spread. The allocation breakdown. So out of that 6,500, I'm gonna take 3,000, and we're gonna get 3 of those specials. That's gonna give you 70. That's gonna give you 45 contracts. You can tell I'm excited, right? That's gonna give you 45 contracts. At the end of your first 36 months, you're gonna walk away with 1.5 mil, right? 2 years after that, for those 13 contracts that we bought for 1,300, it's gonna give you 13 5-year contracts. So 2 years after that, you're gonna get 6.5. So you went from millionaire to multi-millionaire. 5 years have gone past. Now, 2 years after this happens, because of those 22 7-year contracts that we bought for 2,200, now you're gonna get another 22 million. Now that's generational wealth. So the first 3 years, millionaire status. The next 2 years after that, multi-millionaire. The next 2 years after that, generational wealth. Total, 30 million. And if you're a client of mine or a friend of mine, we're going to show you how you continue growing that. Now listen, today, I have been thinking about this concept, but today I actually put it into a little bit of format. I may or may not make a slide out of it, because the more I think about stuff, slides become be here all night. But let me tell you about this thing. See, this concept that I'm going to show the next time, see, at the end of that first 36 months, we're eligible for 45 more contracts, you see. Out of that 1.5 client of mine, we're getting what? If that specialist still there, we're getting 45 more. That's what we're doing out of this 1.5. And I'm going to leave it right there, because we're going to, it's mind-blowing what you can do to separate yourself from just the average person. And what is it called? It's called thinking, right? And because that's what I do, that's what I do. So let that sink in. You can put yourself in the position, if you want to run as long and as fast as you want. Now, overview of Cryptech's primary benefits. Earning passive income. Let me get this thing out of the way. Earning passive income, generating income, generating interest from staking 24/7, 365, and no personal capital needed. Just an activation fee. Fixed starting capital from who? The bank, of either 30,000 to 40 or 43,200. Goes together, staking for you immediately upon activation. Affordable. It's only $100 handling fee that you have to take care of. Whether you get a 3-year contract, whether you get a 60-month contract, which is a 5-year, or whether you get an 84-month contract, which is a 7-year. It's the same $100 activation fee. Daily compounding. See, what did Einstein get credited with saying? That it's the greatest, it's the 8th wonder of the world. Those who understand it, receive it. Those who don't, pay it. Well, how do we pay compounding interest? You ever bought a mortgage? You see what you borrow to what you pay back to the bank? That's compounded interest working for the bank. You ever been in a payback program with the IRS for taxes? That's compounded. See that thing compounded every day? That's compounding to the bank. And credit cards, all those are compounding for somebody else. Now, you can take this concept, which is the most powerful financial concept on the planet, and create wealth. And you don't need a whole lot. You just need a whole lot of wisdom. 80 contracts are allowed per account, with the special contract, of course, not to exceed 80. Even if you get the special, you still can't have but 80, right? Over 700 plus members worldwide, and withdrawals are in Bitcoin, the #1 coin on coin market cap. That's expected to go to 7 figures by the end of this decade. 8-year projects. They ain't brand new. And the wonderful thing for me, this is my 12th year in crypto. I'm in my 12th year. But this is the first project that I've gotten involved with that has had anywhere close to 8 years. They've all been new because the industry is new. But this project is seasoned. 8 years is behind us. We're in the 9th year now. It's a beautiful thing. And the account is, of course, anonymity for all parties. And the capital is insured by who? The insurance company. For who? The bank and us, right? No financial obligations or contract obligations, should I say. And we have an optional builder's plan. Instant commission payouts, right? And special contract package where you get 5 free contracts. If you get all 3 specials, you get 15 free contracts. It's a beautiful thing. Now I'm gonna stop right here because this is part 1. So part 1 is all about passive income and how you can put money to work, but you're not necessarily recruiting anybody. Part 2 is for the people who want to also put money to work, but we want to share with other people. I'm not going to force you, if you're just here for part 1, to stay for part 2. So I'm going to take a little break. And anybody that's a customer or a potential customer that has a question about part 1, this is the time to raise your hand or type it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. If you want to stay for part 2, you can, but if you don't, you can feel free now to ask your questions. I thought I dropped something. About any and everything I have shared thus far. Questions going once. Questions going twice. And let me just check the chat. If you don't want to ask your question about part 1, you can sure type it in the chat and I will answer it that way as well. And I don't see any questions in the chat and I don't see any hands raised. So I'm going to go ahead and get into part 2. Generational wealth with Cryptex. Now, we shared in part 1 how you can make, I will call that the first level of generational wealth, just putting your crypto to work. Now, we're going to talk about how to explode past that by adding the second part, which is our referral rewards program. And there are 3 aspects to this. 3 ways to earn: direct commissions, profit sharing, and leader commissions. And let me just say this about this one in the middle. This one in the middle is that magic. See, this is just direct commissions. You get a certain portion on every contract, right? But this one here, you get the daily profit sharing, you get a percentage every day of every contract in your organization. So when that balance is staking for them, you get a little piece of that, and it's staking for you. In addition to what you put in, that's staking for you. That one in the middle is magic because it's taking advantage of what? That compounding interest. That's why I said you can take your wealth building or your generational wealth building from part 1 and explode it in part 2 by building an organization. And then the leader comp gives you another monthly check. So this is instantly every day if you're building. This is at the end when your contracts begin to mature. And this one is monthly. Direct compensation. This is anybody that you personally bring in. You have 3 levels, 3 contracts, the 3-year, the 5-year, and the 7. No matter which contract you sell or share, you still earn on your first level 30%. On levels 2 through 5, which is your organization, you earn 5%. On level 5 through 4, it's 4%, and level 7 through 10, it's another 3%. Your daily profit sharing, and this is powerful. Remember when somebody takes out the $35,000 on your first level, you earn 8%. On that second level through 4, where I showed you that $1,700 from $35,000 from everybody down there, that's where that 5% comes from, right? Levels 5 through 4, 4%. Level 9 through 12, 3%. And level 13 through 16, 2%. Level 17 through 20, 1%. And if you become a leader, this can go through infinity. That's right. And how do you become a leader, John? Well, there's 3 qualifications. Number 1, 100 direct sponsors. Number 2, 100 contracts from your first and second level every month. And if they're doing special packs and just working that, I mean, you got 5, 6 people, you can knock that out. And then, of course, your total volume of 1,000 contracts or 100,000 in volume. If you do that, that pretty much happens. And once you meet these qualifications, you get 5% every single month. Well, you get 5% on that first 1,000, which is that bonus of 5,000, but you get 5% of your total organization paid out to you monthly through infinity. On this bonus here, I did the math on Laura when she was at 40,000 in her organization. Now I think she's at 50. But at 40,000, if every client did one contract a month in her organization, that was $200,000 just for this one bonus here. 200,000. Millions would be here, but 200,000 every month, which is $1 million over a year. You know, $1 million some change. At 100,000, I'm sorry, at 20,000, she gets 100,000 a month. So that bonus can be and should be mind blowing if you're building, right? Direct commissions. As I said, it's 30% on your levels 3, 5, and 7. One person paying, somebody got talking in my ear. Who's talking? Who's talking? Somebody unmuted themselves. One person, 20 contracts. If you sold it, that's 30% times $30 times 20, $600. So it's pretty lucrative. Matter of fact, it's very lucrative. And it's showing somebody who did over 20,000 in their first 2 months, or at 2 months at some point. I don't know if it was their first 2 months or not, but it's pretty awesome, the kind of revenue that can be generated. This profit sharing, this is showing you with a 15 pack. At the end of that time, it's about 42,000 on that first level. On that second level, 26, and then that goes down to that fourth level as well. So depending on your strategy and depending on how you're building and what you're building, that back end money, I call it, can be a few $100,000 every single month. Especially if you're teaching clients how to do dollar cost averaging and you're going past that 10 and 20 clients, because if you're going for the 100, you're going to have that number hit. So that back end money, in addition to what you're doing, can be really mind-blowing every single month. And then, of course, this is just giving you another colorful look at that same chart. So let's go on past that. This is the leaders bonus. We covered that as well. This is Legacy Wealth, which is part of Laura's organization. And she put together, her and her team, this marketing funnel that she allows us to use. So anybody that is building and want to, if you're out there, you're posting, don't know what to post, we got all kind of posts back here. You can have access to all kind of cryptech stuff, emails, email campaigns, welcome letters, you name it. When it comes to marketing, is in this marketing suite. I mean, it's pretty awesome. That video that I shared earlier, one thing I did, I found it back here. I liked it. Had it sent to my guy and just put my information in it. And that's all you have to do. If you find something that you like, that you want to use to promote, whether it be on Snapchat or any of those other platforms out there, it's all in here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just come back here, modify it to what you want to do. And so I tell anybody, as long as you enroll one person, we give you access to it. They say you're supposed to have 100, but now that I have access to it, I let my people use it as long as they're looking like they're trying to build something. Because we want to help you get to where you want to be as much as possible. And next to talking is marketing. If you ain't marketing in this industry or any industry, you ain't winning. That's just how it works. Can I withdraw at any time during the staking term? The answer is no. You can only withdraw at the end of the staking term, whether that be 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. There's no exceptions to that. That smart contract has it locked up. It couldn't be changed if you wanted it to be changed. To earn instantly, all you have to do, of course, is have at least $100 in your account if you're building to withdraw. So $100 or more, you can withdraw. You can withdraw every day if you are building consistently. Where does the money come from? The money comes from the loan from who? The bank. The bank loans starting balance to the DeFi staking contract. That's just how that happens. And the beautiful thing about that is you don't have to go through no underwriting. Nobody cares who you are, how much you make, or any of that. You just activate a contract and boom, it's in there. You activate 2 contracts, boom, boom, it's in there twice. It's just a beautiful thing, right? if you think about 80 well, I'm not even going to talk about to put that number out there, but it's amazing how quickly your loan balance explodes. As your loan balance explodes, that 0.1, that 0.3 explodes. Why? Because you're compounding 24/7, whether you got a 36-month, 60-month, or 84-month contract without fail, and it compounds. The ending balance is the results after the staking term is finished. At the end of the term is your balance. We covered that. I don't know why somebody's asking me questions right now. I'm not going to read it until I'm finished because we got some work to do here. Why would Cryptex only charge $100 per account for such a return? Because they make, see, when you know you have a good deal, is when everybody is happy that signed the deal or that committed to the deal, right? So all parties involved, Cryptex, the bank, the insurance company, and each contract holder earns substantial profits from every contract. That's why everybody's eating well. We don't need to charge anymore. They already figured out in those years before they went public what was the optimal number they needed to hit to make it good and easy for people to get involved, but also make it good for the bank to say, yes, I want to do this, and for the insurance company to say, yes, I want to do this. So they did that. A $100 handling fee is all that is required for the account from the account holder, because the bank earns 6.75 per year variable interest rate on every 36-month contract, and they earn 5.5 on every 60-month contract. They're happy. The insurance company earns $210 per month insurance fee for every 36-month contract. So think about if you got 50 or 60 or 80 contracts. You do that number times the number of contracts, and that's why the insurance company is happy. But look at it. On every 60-month contract, they earn $300 and do the same thing there. But we're going to look at it a little deeper. How can Cryptex pay out above and beyond the $100 handling fee charge, right? Because look at this. On one 36-month contract, they're earning $30 every month, which is $1,080 a year. Oh, well, yeah. On every 60-month contract, I'm sorry, over 36 months. On every 60-month contract, they're earning $1,800. What if you got 15 of those or 30 of those? You times it by that number, and you can see they're happy. They're not, they're making so much money, it doesn't make any sense to charge anymore. That's when greed comes in, and then things kind of fall apart when men get greedy, right? Look at the bank's earning. On a 36-month contract, when they put that $30,240 up, they ain't put it up because they like it. They put it up because of this. They're earning 6.75 interest. So on that 3-year contract, they make $6,123 without underwriting, without a building, without employees to pay, without a light bill to pay, air conditioning, none of that. This is all clear money. That's why. On a 60-month contract where they put up 43.2, they're making 5.5 for 5 years. Another $11,000 for every one of those 5-year contracts that you have. It's a beautiful thing. Look at the insurance company who guarantees this for the bank to allow the bank to be happy making that loan. On every 36-month contract, the insurance company earns $210 a month for 36 months. That's $7,560. On every 60-month contract at $300 a month, $18,000. Do that times 15 or 20 contracts or 80 contracts. That's why they're happy. Imagine you had 15 contracts. The insurance company alone earns on 15 36-month contracts $113,000. You think they ain't happy? They ain't paid no agent. They ain't paid no doctor for no exams. They ain't paid for no blood and urine. They ain't paid for nothing. No underwriting department. Look at this here. On a 60-month, on 15 60-month contract, $270,000. Easy, liquid, stay-at-home money. The insurance company is happy. Can I sign up my family? Yes, you can. But what you can't do is stack. You can only sign up your family going this way. You can't sign your husband up and then put your son or daughter down here. No, that's called stacking. You got to go wide. It's you, then you'll link to your husband, sign him up, and then if you got children, the same link, the wife's link, goes to them. Why? It protects the company, but it protects the person that brought you in. See, the person that bought you in deserves to eat. And when you stack, you are basically stealing. You're stealing from them and you're stealing from the company. That's why right down here, this is strictly enforced. So please don't take a chance in which you could lose your account being caught stacking. Don't do it. See, the scripture says the workman is worthy of his hire. If somebody took the time to share this with you, why are you going to try to cut them out their commission? Nah, it makes no sense. I did over 50-some contracts under me so that the girl who shared this with me can eat. That's how it's supposed to be. I ain't never, in the whole history of me being in this industry, which is just about long I've been in the financial world, cheated out my person who referred me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. Make sure they eat. Make sure the company eats. And that everybody make sure that you eat. You want to build? That's how you go deep. And that's how it's supposed to be. I want to build? I go deep. But I'm not messing with what she's supposed to get, right? And you shouldn't either. Can I refer and earn commissions without my own contract? No, you got to have at least one. So if you know somebody in your family who might have gotten laid off, they might have some sales skills, or maybe not. They need to learn a new industry, right? Because the old industry, is not doing so well now. You can either gift them a contract, or if they got a little severance pay, they can get one contract and earn themselves 6 figures a year, or $50,000 a year, or whatever they want to earn, without having to go back to school or get a trade or none of that kind of stuff, right? So it's a beautiful thing. But you got to have at least one. They ain't got to have 10 to earn 10,000. Just one. They can earn 100,000. They can earn $1 million. Doesn't matter. Why does the website say sold out? Some contracts. Because those are contracts that Cryptex no longer offers. So when because of that smart contract, when they don't want to offer a contract anymore, they just stop that contract. And then let whoever's got that contract, let that ride itself out, right? And then they open up a new contract. Like right now, when you log in, you see they get ready to launch a 10-year contract. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I'll add that to whatever I'm doing, right? If Cryptex has been running since 2016, why does the website say 2021? Because in those first few years, they were working to fine-tuning the program with the bank, the insurance companies, and the initial people who put this community together, making sure that they had a well-oiled machine before they went live in 2021. It was private. They went live in 2021 and opened it up for the whole world. So as you can see, it exploded from that point. This is when Cryptex went on board. So that's great. So right now they're in the process of updating our website and our back office for the next wave. For the benefits. This anonymity thing I love because Bitcoin runs on that same concept. Nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Nobody knows who anybody is. It's just a community that runs that blockchain that keeps that protocol intact, right? The protocol can't be changed because of how he wrote that thing. Same thing here. Our protocol is being run by the community. So there is no CEO and back office, nobody for anybody to go shut down. We've all heard about those programs that have been shut down. Just like they couldn't shut down Bitcoin and mess up people's money. 14 years running strong with just a community. Same thing here. And we have 9 years. We're in our 9th year now, running strong. And no logistical issues, right? Logic has been fine. Cryptex has been internally consistent 100% of the time. What does that mean? Anybody and everybody that's supposed to have gotten paid has gotten paid 100%. Lets you know that the decentralized blockchain doesn't fail, and the smart contract where the deal has been written doesn't fail. 100% of the time. That doesn't happen in the centralized world. Things change. They want to change the commission, change this, change that. Can't happen in this. When they want to make a change, they let that contract run its course, and they'll introduce a new contract. And then in that new contract, there could be some differences, right? But not in the one that you're currently in. That's the beautiful thing. Better than we've ever seen before. I can agree with that. Let me tell you why. Been here in my 12th year now. And I've seen some things. I've seen how centralized systems work in the old world and over here in the crypto world. There's a lot of centralized systems, right? A lot of centralized exchanges. But I've also seen and begin to understand better and better every year how this decentralized side works. And I love the decentralized side. It ain't 100% guaranteed, but I tell you what, it's more guaranteed than the centralized. I'm not even going to say guarantee because you can't say that word. I'm going to say this. It has probably a 95% success rate, or 95%. I can say that, compared to the centralized system, whether it be in crypto or whether it be in the centralized financial system, which has probably about a 50% or so success rate. As some of them boomers, they might not even say that, right? So so why are people flocking to Cryptex? All of the above. It's unique, it's original, it's profitable, secure, and it's never been done before in any space. That's why. I mean, when you have a concept, which time has come, nothing can stop it. When Bitcoin launched, they did everything trying to find a company or a CEO and all that, right? You remember the early years, they were trying to figure out who started it, where they wanted to shut it down. They couldn't. Now, 14 years later, that coin went from under a penny to knocking on the door right now of 100,000. It hit 100,000 about a month or so ago, but it's been backed up a little bit. But we're knocking on the door again, about 96, 97,000 per coin. A coin you could have got for a penny just 14 years ago is worth 97,000 today. One coin. It's a beautiful thing. We've never had a product in the financial world, in the organized financial world, which goes back 500 years, that has done what Bitcoin has done in 14. Never. We've never had a financial product that has created more millionaires and billionaires in its first 14 years in existence. Never. I ain't saying, don't misunderstand me, that the other world didn't create millionaires and billionaires, because we know it has. I said in 14 years, in its first 14 years of existence. We didn't have a billionaire explosion in the regular financial world, maybe the last 20 or so years, 30 years. Prior to that, we had a lot of millionaires, but them billionaires didn't start popping out in the financial world maybe 25 years ago. And now it's exploded over there because of a lot that's going on over there. But in 14 years, never. And we have it. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are living and can participate in the greatest wealth transfer of our lifetime. Yes, you can participate now. We never had the opportunity to participate before in wealth transfers, but we do now. What you going to do? But let me tell you what I think you should do is get back with the person who invited you and tell them, hey, John did an outstanding job. I'm ready to go. Even if you start with one contract just to feel things out, doesn't matter. What matters is that you start. See, that's what matters. Doesn't matter how you start. Don't matter how many contracts you have. It just matters that you start. If you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand. I see a few in the chat. What happens after 3 years? If you want to cash out, that's what you do. At the end of 3 years, your contract has matured. You'll get an email from, you ain't got to call them. They're going to send you an email. It's going to say your contract has matured. We advise you to take your funds out. Pretty cool, right? And you have to say either yes to that email or no. That's all you got to say. Yes, I want to withdraw, or no, I don't. When you say yes, they send you instructions on how to withdraw. And you take it from your back office where you see it at, and you put it into your private wallet. That's what happens. Is there any age minimum? Yes, by law it's 18. You have to be 18 years of age to anonymously open up a contract. How can we get a copy of the presentation? You show what happened? How can we get a copy? Every time y'all type it, it moves the thingamajig. Which one was I reading? Okay, here it is. How do I get a copy of the presentation you showed tonight? Just give me a call. If you're a presenter, if you've done something, I don't mind allowing you to use my PowerPoint. If you ain't done nothing, don't give me a call until you at least bought in a person. I mean, that's just how it is. What if you say no about withdrawing? If you say no, it's just going to sit in your back office. But you didn't wait 36 months. Why would you say no? Just say yes and take your money out and put it somewhere. Outstanding. Thank you so very much for the person who said outstanding. You know, when something is right, there is nothing that can happen that makes it wrong. Absolutely nothing. It might be wrong for you, Great presentation. Thank you. Where would you advise to put it? That's a great question. And as I said today, what I've been playing with is different allocations for that very question, but I wasn't expecting to get that asked tonight. But I kind of went over it a little bit. No matter what you get at the end of your first 36 months, you should take a portion of that and refill your pipe. Why am I saying that? Because that's what I'm gonna do. And I always share with all of my clients what I do. Doesn't mean all of them do what I do, but I share what I do. That's my job, to guide them, right? And I can't guide them in a direction that I ain't going. That just to me makes no sense. I've always been an advisor who was in the same pot that my clients was in, because I believe in what I'm doing, or a product that I'm selling. That's why I had that falling out with Smith Barney. They wanted me to sell this product, and I wanted to sell this product, and I'm like, I'm independent. But that's a whole other story, because we were acquired by them. I was with Tower Square Securities, and Smith Barney. Well, we were acquired by a Citigroup who owned Smith Barney, who bought Smith Barney. So that's how all that happened. But anyway, so I don't play that. If I'm independent, you can't tell me what to do. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to present your products, just like all those White House would come in and show what they have, and then we decide as the advisor which products we like. And I liked other products, so we clashed. So I had to take my tent and go, because they wasn't going nowhere. What would you advise to put it? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Great. If anybody has a question and you want to raise your hand, I'll be more than happy to unmute you. You don't have to type unless you just want to. But and let me say this. There's another article I wanted to share that I didn't share, and I'll share it, I guess, Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody so that you can just unmute yourself at will, but do it one at a time. Don't try to, if somebody's talking, don't talk over them, or I'm going to have to mute you back. But if you want to say something, feel free to unmute yourself. But I'll tell you this, if you missed this train, ain't nobody's fault but your own, because whoever invited you here shared it with you. Yes, ma'am. Does somebody have a question?
I didn't have a question. I just wanted to to highlight, as you were doing another, that's why I just put outstanding in the comment. But we're in a position right now, and I would admonish anybody that is under or within the sound of my voice to realize we need to do like they tell you on the airplane. If there's a change in the air pressure, put your own air mask on first, and then you help someone else.
That's right.
That's what this is actually helping us do. Put our financial air masks on, because the pressure is already on, and it's going to come in an intensified measure, and it's happening even right now. I researched and asked what was the ranking of each country as far as what their citizens' savings is. America wasn't even listed.
Come on.
What was the 20 countries in the world?
Wow.
United States wasn't even in there. The worst, so bad that they didn't even call your name. Are you kidding me? So now, in order for us to say we are free citizens, yeah, right. And what are you doing with that? This is the time to make that shift and make that move we can look at it like my husband and I just watched it. Well, I watched the end of it, the movie Jack and the Beanstalk. That boy got 3 beans and he put them in the ground and it grew that beanstalk. Right now, we can use one $100 bean.
Come on.
Put that puppy in the ground, and let it grow that beanstalk, because we got to be in a position to rise above all the minutia that's going to be happening. Get above all this other stuff. And once we equipped ourselves with the knowledge that we're surrounded by people with like minds who have right hearts and intentions to be a blessing, we realize that's our commission, our charge. We're blessed to be a blessing. Now, what people do are not, and I'm finding sometimes you have to look at people once you realize your job is to be the messenger, to inform people of what's happening, but don't let people pull you down just because they don't get it. Because that's like trying to save somebody in a drowning person. If you don't realize that they're fighting against you, they'll pull you down as well. So don't do that. Don't do that. And until you're secure, if you need to just get your contract and don't talk to nobody, then do that. But please, please, brothers and sisters, put your bean in the ground.
Wow. Thank you, Sister Cheryl. I mean, put your bean in the ground. And while she was talking, I never looked that stat up, right? But it makes sense because we are the most indebted country of the G7 or G20, whatever that G thing is, right? But they keep saying we're the wealthiest country. No, 5% of the people in the country is wealthy. 95% of the wealth in the U.S. is controlled by 5% of the people. The 95%ers ain't wealthy and they ain't saving. That goes right back to the article that Ford wrote way back in 2013, that we're living in the greatest retirement crisis of our lifetime in the history of this country. The largest group, which are the baby boomers who save the most, are the brokest group ever in the history of this country. That tells you, and it falls right in line with the information that you just shared with us. People don't save here anymore. Why? They chasing the Joneses, big houses, big cars. We got all of that. Ain't got no wealth though. Soon as one or both lose a job, it's over. I read an article maybe about a year ago, because I was still in Maryland then, that said that the average American, that's the 95%ers, is one paycheck from broke. A paycheck. That's insane. Which means that if they lose a job, there is no back account. So they fall on their butt. That's insane. But without all that being said, we can change that. And you hear me say almost overnight, because 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years to create wealth is almost overnight. Because it's never been able to be done. And as you can see, ain't nobody done it, right? So now you can position yourself, like you said, hey, get one contract and get an understanding. Don't nobody care. That's your beginning, right? But you position yourself right, and in 3 years, you can have X amount. 2 years after that, you can have Y amount. And 2 years after that, you can have Z amount. What? I didn't put a number on it because it's whatever you do, right? You can, it doesn't matter how much you have, right? It matters how you allocate what you have. Because you can get 80 contracts, but if you don't allocate them right, you can have 80, 36 month contracts. That makes no sense at all. You've just broken every financial rule in the book. So you're going to be way less than where you should be, right? You didn't put any thought into it. Maybe you hadn't had any understanding, right? But another guy could have 30 contracts, but did a better allocation than you and have way more than you with 80 contracts. I can show it to you. I can prove that to you. This is just a fact. Just a fact, right? So it's not about how much you have, right? Now, if you have more, you can get there faster, but you can have more, don't have no sense. You won't get there at all, right? So, but it's about maximizing what you have. Store the talents, right? One guy, scared, nervous, As I hit mine, I ain't want to lose nothing. The other guy, he did some allocating, right? Did pretty decent. But the other guy, he did great allocation. And what the ruler do? Taking yours. You need to be broke. Giving it to him, who expanded. See, the Most High said that we're supposed to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. That's in your whole being. That's why he says put on the whole armor, right? A fool with money, it will soon pass. The wrong allocation, your wealth will soon pass. Also, the question was asked, what do I do after I get it? See, that's more important. How many athletes got that big money for 3, 4, 5 years? Not just athletes, singers, all of them. They didn't have wisdom. The proverb says the principal thing is to get wisdom. He didn't say the principal thing was to get wealth. No. Because a fool with money, it will soon depart from him or her. He said the principal thing, Solomon said the principal thing was wisdom. So that you would know what to do with whatever you get. That's why he said get that one bean, get something in the ground and let that thing begin to spout. Because see how the universe works is, once you get that wheel rolling, the Most High said, okay, doing something. Now I'm going to send the angels down, help them do some more. But that scared person, I don't know. You've been saying it all your life and you're broke. It's time to change that tune. It's time to change the tune, because if you do, you can be like the other guy and he will expand your field. Do we have any other questions? Anybody else want to make a statement? Anybody have anything to say? Don't be shy. Feel free to share with us. We want to know what's going on. Maybe there's nothing going on. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to stop my recording